flood off, flood on, flood off, flood on. That's it. That's the video. The ADHD adult among us can check out now. But here's the rest of it proper. So, night vision. It is super cool, literally a superpower, but it's expensive. It's like buying a horse or a boat, and the initial cost is usually just the tip of the iceberg, and it only gets worse from there. So say you've got your PBS-14 unit, everything's great, but then you're going to need a mountain of accessories to go along with it, one of which is going to be your laser/illuminator doodad. Now, historically, those are going to be catastrophically expensive, things like the D-ball, the Maul, PEQ, what have you, just tremendously expensive and dubiously legal little units. Oftentimes, these things would go for sometimes even more than your entry-level nod in the first place, which brings us to this, the Laserspeed M6TR. Now, I'll spare you all the nitty-gritty details of just what comes in this little package here. Other people put it far better than I could. But the takeaway is that it's a full-power little unit that is, relatively speaking anyway, shockingly affordable. But, depending on who you talk to, it's got a problem. You see, the illuminator is real bright, and that's great. But it's also real narrow. Now, that's wonderful for distance, but borderline useless for up close, anything within, say, maybe 50 yards in. Even cranked to its widest setting, the illuminator is still going to be about the size of a paper plate to, say, a car hood, depending on what kind of close-range distance you're talking. Now, with that in mind, what do? How do we fix that? Well, this is not a new problem, not by any stretch of the means. Similar laser illuminators have had various solutions to this, but the most common one would be the diffuser cap, similar to a camera or what have you. But the follow-up question to that is, who makes those? The answer to which is resounding no one, except for me. And now you. Let's take a real quick close look at what I cooked up here. Yeah, and there you have it. That looks functional enough. Let's go ahead and print one out. So obviously for something like this we need to be flexible, so we're printing it in PPU, which, well, flexes. And here's our finished piece. As you can see, sloppy floppy, just the way we like it. Here's the tricky part though. On account of the aforementioned sloppy floppy, we can't print the arms vertically since they get a little squiggly. Now because of that, we print them horizontally, and as such you're going to want to take some localized heat, like for example this butane soldering iron that I'm using, just very gently melt the joints. Once they've partially liquefied, just go ahead and press them right on in, and hey presto, she's complete. But we still need to add the actual diffuser piece. Now, since we're doing this quote-unquote professionally, we're going to use a pre-made one instead of trying to cobble together a milk jug or something. So we just hop on eBay and find a surplus PQ diffuser cap for like $12 or so and get that sucker en route. Basically, the only part we want is this center ring here. The rest of it does not matter. So grab your Dremel and embrace your inner Bubba Smith. Get to it. Like any good cooking show, I've gone ahead and cut this out ahead of time, so this is what you should end up with, this little piece right here. It is a press fit design, so it'll hold in there just fine all on its own, but slap in some E6000 on the edges if you want a little bit of extra hold. If you're feeling extra fancy, go ahead and throw it in a vibratory tumbler with some soft media like walnut or something, just to really smooth it out a little bit more. And just like that, there you have it. That is the finished package. Now, listen very carefully as I have bunged this up once already. This screw here that holds on the original dust cover, this one right here, it's made of aluminum. And they also glue it in. So do not, under any circumstances, try to unscrew that. It will break off and you will be SOL. Ask me how I know. So instead of doing that, we're going to just take the rubber and manhandle it till it comes off there. It's a very tiny hole, stretching itself out quite a bit, but trust me, she can take it. And we just take our new cap, slap that sucker on there, and that's pretty much it. Simple as. Let's go see how it performs. With the laser and illumination, low power. That is at the widest setting. Trash can there is about maybe good 50 yards away. Signs back there about 100 yards, give or take. Laser, high power combination. A lot of splashback on that. This is low power. And we add on the diffuser cap.
This is again the combination with the diffuser cap on. Bump that up to high power. Crank that gain down just a little bit. So this is about maybe 25 yards to this little pavilion here. Gain is turned down. This is without the diffuser, full power illumination. So you can see at close ranges, it's really just washing everything out, especially, that is to say, even with that opened up all the way. Throw the diffuser cap on. And there you go, quite a bit of flood. So I wanted to try a little bit of a different environment here. So this is in my garage at midnight. It's basically pitch black instead of all the ambient light outside. So this is the illuminator and laser in my garage, distance of about maybe 15 feet to the end of it there. As you can see, quite a lot of splash, but just really, really focused, really overpowering. So, give me one moment here. I'm going to swap this over to the diffuser cap. And there you have it. That is complete flood. I'm pointing it about maybe 45 degrees to the side. You see it kind of slowly creep back in and illuminate the whole thing. And this is on low power. It should be high power now. See, it's got quite a bit of gusto to it for close quarters. So for a more one-to-one comparison here, this is the M6TR high power laser illuminator combo. I'm going to compare this to my helmet mounted Surefire Vampire. So this is M6TR, Vampire, M6TR, Vampire.
So in closing, for a less than $1,000 unit, it is tremendously impressive, and I feel like this little modification that we've made makes it basically unbeatable for the price. And as always with all of my designs, I will have it uploaded completely free of charge up on Thingiverse or wherever the new hotness is. So make your own, sell your own, really, I don't give a damn, do what you will. So that's it, that's all, video over. Don't subscribe to my Patreon, I never upload, don't go on the Discord, they're really spicy, more vids later, I love you all, goodbye.